Alright guys, going to be going over the flight mode setting with the 3GX unit up here. Getting a lot of questions on pretty much everything. I don't think a lot of people are catching what's going on with this new setting. So, what I'm going to do first here is hook my power up, transmitter on, no battery here for the motor anyways. I'm going to switch my system on, not in DIR mode. This is after you've done your DIR settings. Boom. Got my initialization on here. See? Got my full control. Now, I'm going to take you into the 3GX here. Now you can see my hand and the set button over here. I want to hit the rudder and press and hold the set. See, now I have two lights lit up here. And if I kind of mess around, you see them changing. This is my flip and roll rate. Flip right now, adjust by your elevator, up, down on your control here. See? You can see the numbers changing. This will only allow you to get a 20% gap between the two. Now I'm setting elevator for 60 and aileron 50. That's my personal setting. I think the aileron... Actually, the aileron's pretty quick. I was just speeding up the elevator for it. Now, when you're done with this first mode with your roll rates, remember, left, right, roll, and then flip right. Alright, you press your set button. My swash right here is kicking forward. I'm at my elevator endpoint adjustment right now. You can see I have one light lit and the second one is flashing. That's 30%. I still personally, with my 600 setup, I'm on the inner holes over here. Probably can't see on this video. But, and see, I just timed out. Like I said, I was at 30%. Now, to adjust this, literally with your elevator again, as you see I made it climb, this is your endpoint. And if you watch the swash, you can see my swash adjusting. You may only set 8 cyclic in your DIR setup, but when you're in this mode, you're actually going to come out and get 14, 10 degrees, something like that, whatever you set your endpoint to. Like I said, for my system, on the inner holes here, I have to run 30. You hit this button again, and now it's going to tilt. You got your aileron adjustment. And same thing, I'm running 30 again, but as you see, if I change the settings, you see that swash plate slowly move. So this is what we're talking about when we say adjust your endpoints, is this point right here. You set 8 to tell the system where 8 is here in it, but then in your endpoint adjustment, this is where you're actually getting your whole entire roll. The system's going to know where 8 is, and then it's going to know where this end is. And then through those two, it'll be able to calculate all the other pitch settings in the middle. So, like I said, elevator, press it again, aileron roll. Now we get into that, what is it, the fourth setting. This is your dampening right here. So again, standard is 50. This is all personal preference stuff. Dampening. You hit the button one more time, this is your acceleration. You have your cyclic acceleration right here. I don't like acceleration. And then you have, when you go up, you have your collective acceleration, which I actually run 20%. And then press that button and you're done. Those are all your settings within that. So that's what we're talking about with this new setup here. Like I said, DIR is pretty straightforward as the normal one. You just have max 13 and then cyclic 8 degrees. And you're going to want to measure both and then turn your blades and then measure your elevator at the same time. You do your elevator, turn your blades, measure your aileron. Alright, to show you what we just went over here, I got my pitch gauge on there. I got my mid stick right now. You see I take it to the top, 12.5, and then down here I've got about 12.5. Here we go. Take her back mid. Alright, now I'm going to hit my aileron, And you see I'm actually getting about 10 degrees of travel right there. But that's with my endpoints in there. I did set my pitch to 8. I'll show you that right now. What I'm going to do is turn it off. I'm going to go into DIR mode. Let me cycle my transmitter here. Alright, booted. Now I'm in DIR mode. And as you see, my pitches are the same. But since I have that adjusted endpoint of only, actually you should have higher, but since I only have 30 degrees, or 30%, it's actually just giving me a little bit. And as you see there, I only have 8 in DIR mode. So I went from 0.3 to 8.3. I have 8 degrees cyclic pitched in right there. But again, when I leave DIR mode, go through this real quick. Alright, now I'm out of my DIR mode. You see, after I've adjusted my endpoints, see I'm actually getting 10 degrees of travel. And that's at 30%. And that just shows you to kind of explain a little more into what's going on with this new system.